What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Kobo. We're doing another video of our PSA Return. I'm not in a rush to get them opened, strictly for the fact that I also want to have them videotaped for you guys to see, to share with you guys what we got for our grading with our order here. This is again part of the first order we put in, and the boxes aren't numbered, so we don't know whose is whose, but we'll know once we crack the box open. Again, it's an order that was oh shit, my scissors get super sticky, but it's with the amount of cards that we sent in, it was a culmination of 3 people. Again, it's myself, Power, and my sister. So this one here is not as tight. Let's see which is the top, which is not the top. Okay, so the bottom is this way. All right, so this one is I don't know whose is this. This is Hidden Fates. I want to believe this is Power's cards, because I don't think I sent in any Hidden Fates at all with the first order. This is a 10. Nice. Hidden Fates, because I think Power started collecting Hidden Fates first, and I wasn't into Pokemon yet. Here's another one from Hidden Fates, gold card. It is a 10. I would like to say and expect that the majority of these Hidden Fates cards should be a 10, because again, with Pokemon cards or any cards, it's usually the corners that you have to worry about, especially sports cards, because sports cards are not rounded off. They're very sharp, and they're more prone and susceptible to getting damaged. But with Pokemon and the Japanese cards, they round them off so that they're not as susceptible to getting damaged. So with that being said, I would expect that these cards should be a little better. These are Hidden Fates, and they're also cut nicer. So with Hidden Fates, there's not a lot of whitening on the edges and corners. It's just more so of the centering and possibly the surface of the card. So here's the promo ETP card. This one came back a 9. I think Power bought a handful of these sealed products. I think he must have bought, I can't remember how many he bought. Was it 20 or 30 or something like that? It was some outrageous number. Here's another one. This one is a 9 as well. The Trio Bird promo. I think at one point the a 10 was going for about 270, 300 at one point. This one's a 9 as well. The 9s, it used to retrieve a little bit more, but now with the crash in the market of Pokemon, a 9 is basically almost the value of a raw card. It used to be, I think, a 6 or a 7. So yeah, everything has just really with the crash, it has really hurt I think the grading cards and stuff like that, and you pay more for getting a card graded than what the card's worth. Here's another 9. I think because it's actually Power that submits all these for us, and I think there was a increase in the single cards. It's no longer, I believe if you send in, was it like 50, then it's like $10 a card or $9 a card. But with the flooding of people sending in cards to get graded, everything, I think now that price has been jacked up to 20 a card. Here's a 10. Nice. So I don't know if it's worth sending in cards. No, I don't think it's worth to send in a card. I don't know the value. I think at one point the raw cards were going for about 30, 40. But for example, some of the cards that we got that were not did not hit the minimum grade, I don't think it's worth sending in a card that's raw. Let's say the raw value is $10, and you have to pay $20 for it to get graded, and it's not a 10. yeah, if it's a 9 or 8, it goes back down to its raw value, which is $10. So you basically lost money. So I don't know if it also affects people's decision on which card to grade. To me, I would like to say that, if you have a collection of cards, I would say, if you could grade everything, because it's just so much easier to work with if you do decide to sell one day. My brother, I gave my younger brother a shit ton of the 90s comic cards, and I had a good amount of them too. And I did advise him that if he could one day get them graded. Here's another 9, but we'll see, because there is a ton of cards, and I think people typically don't grade comic cards with PSA. Not that I've seen. There's not a whole lot of them on eBay. There might be more now, but I think if you were to rewind back a year or two, there probably wasn't that many. So here's another 9. I think Power sent in like 10 or 14 of these. I can't remember, but he sent in a handful of these. Here's another one. This one's a 10. Boom. So I think this is the second 10. No, it's a third 10. Okay, so this is his third 10. So we'll see how many he sent in. If you guys want to look at the back and see. So if you don't know what qualifies for a 10, just grab a 10 and look at it, in terms of centering. And you'll see it's not perfect. So again, talking about centering, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be decent. 70-30, 60-40 in the back. Again, it's probably the surface that we can't see, because I'm pretty sure these cards get looked under a microscope. Oh, here's a 10. Fourth 10. Nice. So if these held up its value from, let's say last year, I think it was last winter, like December, November. Yeah, they were climbing extremely high. Then I remember coming back from Costa Rica this year in January. And let's see, hold on. So let's rewind back a year. And I remember last summer, I remember, it was more like last spring, it was a new high for the first edition Shadowless Charizard. One had just sold for 50,000. Was it 50 or was it 40? I think it was like 42,000, 50, right around there, like 40,000, 50,000. And I think before that it was 27,000 for the first edition Shadowless Charizard. Yes. And then fall hits, and then I think one sold for 100, and then by December of last year, one sold for 200. I think was some rapper, I can't remember his name. He bought it for 200,000, and then earlier this year in January, when I came back from Costa Rica, Power had looked it up and said, "Oh my God, one of them just sold for 300." It's like 300. It's like close to 310,000. So yeah, the value of the Shadowless First Edition Charizard kept going up. And again, earlier this year, that was when it hit its high, and people were just pawning off shit that they had, especially sealed product. If you had the XY Evolutions ETB, not ETB, but the booster boxes, I did have an opportunity to pick up 21 boxes, 21 XY Evolutions booster boxes. I had a chance to pick up 21 of them. I only bought 6, which is the case, and it was going for about, I think on average was going for about $110. And right now I think they're right at around, keeping its value right around, like, I think $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, depending on who wants to pay what for what. So those have profit. Here's another 9. But it's just crazy how some of the shit went up and some of the shit went down. A lot of the sealed product has retained its value. So that's a good thing. Here's a promo card. This is the, yep, Hidden Fates. It's a 10 or collector collection box. A 10. I can't remember. I think at one point these were going for about, the Charizard 10 was going for about 100 plus. I think the Gyarados was going for about 50, and the Raichu was going for about 52 if you get a 10. But again, that was last year. Again, last November, December. Anything that this year I haven't really been following as closely. Here's a Charmander Hidden Fates. This is a 10. And again, and that's what I expect. This card is centered pretty well. but a little slightly thicker here. You know, I'm like, if it's perfect, again, like I said, I've said it in numerous videos. If not, then I'll say it in this video. If your centering is perfect and everything else looks clean, send it to Beckett for a black label. I believe at one point a black label was 10 times the value of a PSA 10. But again, now I don't know. Okay, here's a Trampa. So let's see if these are 10s or at least 9s. Again, the only thing with Fates that you have to worry about is the centering. So it is a little thin on the bottom and on the left side. The left side's not too bad from right to left, but it's a little thin on the bottom here, and it's a 9. I wonder if that's the case, but no, I don't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would assume nothing less of a 9 if the card itself is kind of flawless, meaning that no whitening and the surface is clean. It's again within the Fates. It's just mainly the centering that you have to work with. Here is a 10. Nice. So he does have a lot of 10s in this one. Oops. And this is a shiny Volcanion from Shining Legends. And that came back at 10. Let's see here. I don't know if you guys can see. Made a 10. Again, we can't really tell. Let's see here. I think once it's slabbed, yeah, you can't really see the surface of the... you can't see the surface of the card so much as if the card was out of the slab. So let's see here. There was, so he had, there's 8 9s. So he didn't suffer any 8s in this one. I think all the 8s were in the other box in the other video. He had 8 and about 11 10s and 8 9s. So that's pretty good. Again, when we sent in these cards, you know, we're not just picking any random card that we have in our collection. You know, we're picking cards that have the best chance of being a 10. And I do remember somebody had, I think, sent in 40. Was it 42 XY Evolutions Charizards? And supposedly none of them came back a 10. But again, you know, I actually spent many years in a manufacturing facility and getting to see how inspection, you know, again, you know, it should be the same shit as grading. It's just different terminology for the field of work. In this case, it's grading. So, you know, we consider that the person who's grading the card is a grader, I suppose. But it's the same shit, you know, the product gets inspected to see if it meets the standard or if it's beyond, if it's exceptional, you know, you slap a grade on there. So I do understand what criteria is. And for those of you who probably don't understand what I'm saying, you know, just follow along, you know. So, let's see whose boxes. Ooh, so in this video, we'll just do 2 boxes because I gotta run off to do something. And we'll see whose box this is when we pull out the first card. Ooh, I don't know who this might be. Powers. So it's Gengar and Mimikyu. Secret from Sun and Moon. Team Up. So Team Up is, what is that, like a 2018, 2019? Is that? So it's a 9. Nice looking card. The back side, again, there's really no lining, so I don't know. Still waiting on our Beckett return that we sent in, I think, in November or December. I think it was just myself and Power. We sent in a total of 29 cards. We paid a premium to get a 60-day turnaround. And as you know, if we sent it in December, right now it's August, it's 9 months later. Yeah, fuck that stupid premium, right? So it's pretty fucked up, you know. You would think that they would honor something at least, but no, it's probably just sitting on the shelf, probably still. But yeah, we sent in to Beckett. I think we paid $30 or $35 per card to get that 60-day turnaround. And we sent in 29 cards, of which we think have the best chance of being a black label. So again, you know, my advice to whoever's watching these videos, if you're grading cards, if you have a card that's centered very well, it's very clean on the surface and stuff, I would say don't fuck with PSA, because for sure it's going to be a 10. I would say, because, you know, back at this grade, they're a little bit more stringent on giving out their black label. If you get a black label on your card, I do so. Here is a Rosa. This is the card that I was chasing, and Power's got one. So this box, I believe, belongs to Power, and this Rosa is a 9. I think Rosa at one point got up to 400 bucks, I think. Nice looking card. I cracked open fucking 52 ETBs of Burning Shadows, which is funny because I bought them for basically 35 bucks when they were on sale. And there was a sitting downstairs in the weight room. And then one day I just decided, I came home drunk from partying with my friends. Well, I can't say I was drunk, but I came home and I was still pretty buzzed, I guess. But was sobering up, and took my shower, and I'm like, fuck it, let's crack them open. I cracked them open, and they're gone. They're all gone. And I believe right now the Burning Shadows ATVs are going for about 100. Here's a Cosmic Eclipse, Cynthia and Caitlin. This one is a 10. Very nice. Very nice trainer card. I think she was one of the more popular waifus for Pokemon Trainer. I can't remember. I think that card, a 10. Again, I'm speaking from last year because I know nothing about this year and the crash. Last year, when I'm referring to last year, we'll say, you know, November, December, or whatever, you know. I think that card was about like 120, at least 100 bucks. This card was going up. I remember the 10 was about 70 bucks and it climbed to 140. Here's a 10. So right now, I think this one might have held its own. I don't know. Yep, so this one might even be 200 bucks. But again, right now, as of today, the market has crashed. So I might not. Here's another one. Huh, interesting. I didn't know that Power had 2 of them. I know I sent in 2 of them. So I wonder if this shit's mixed up. I wonder if this is not Power's, but it's actually in my box. So I don't know, guys. It's another 10. Because I think I sent in 2 of these. Because I just thought it was the cutest thing, having Ash and Pikachu. Which in Japan, he's known as Red. Right, so if you haven't figured that out, that's what it is. So I think that card is known as Red's Pikachu, but I don't know. Here's another tag team. 2019 Cosmic Eclipse. Reshiram Zakrom. I think this is the promo. This is the promo card. I don't know if that's a promo card or not, but it's a 10. We'll figure it out. Again, these boxes aren't labeled. They're not in order too, so it's not numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So if you look here, guys, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. See that little white speck? See, with that little white speck, you still got a 10. See? So again, you know, just want to show people that, yeah, there is a criteria. So I think cards that are not a 10 probably have some kind of surface damage or wear or misprint from the manufacturing. Here is a promo Charizard. Boom, it is a 9 from Detective Pikachu. So I think these might be, I'm gonna say this box is Powers because I do not remember, but I do remember having 2 Red's Pikachu. I don't know, quite interesting, but we'll see. I think Power had a lot of he did have some of these too because we picked them up. This is at 10. Boom. So yeah, again, you know, we had an order that was mixed between. Yeah, I remember Power did have one of these. This is a 9. I think the 10 at one point was going for a lot. I think it was going for like 170. I do have a 9. Not of this one. Yeah, I do have a 9 of that one. I have a 9 of this one I bought last year. I think I bought it like last fall. Bought it for 27 bucks. And then right around November, December, it got up to like 75, 80 bucks. And that's where the 10 was just crazy. Here's Arcanine from the same thing. It is a 10. Huh, interesting that he graded this one. I don't know what Arcanine's going for. It's Arcanine. Yeah. Oh. Here's a Zapdos. Yep, so this box does belong to Power. So he's got 2 red Pikachu. So very nice. This is a Zapdos from 99. Again, it's Power and my sister that have the older retro cards. Let's cross our fingers. The centering on this card looks pretty nice. Might even qualify for a black label. It is an 8. I think a lot of these were kept in a binder. Again, if you know me, I'm not big on binders. It's nice to show. If you don't ever want to have them graded, then yeah, go ahead and slap them in stick them in a binder. But if you think that someday there might be some value in getting your cards graded, yeah, don't throw them in a binder. Throw them in a sleeve and then probably a card saver or a top loader or something. They do warp too. My sister has some cards that were severely warped. I don't know if that's what caused them to not be 10s, because she didn't. We did sneak peek some on some of the graded cards online, so you can check the grades on your cards once they have been through the grading system. The back here, so I'm trying to see, the back here is pretty nice. I'm trying to see why it's an 8. So I would assume that it probably, the centering, it's not too bad. I would assume it's probably something to do with the surface, because it's such an old card, and you know, 1999, that's 21 years ago. Here's another one, a Ninetales. And this is an 8. Yeah, so a lot of these older cards. I don't think Power had any of the first edition Shadowless, because he was too young and too broke. Just like most kids, you know. Alright. There's a hole. Ooh, it's a nice looking hole. Look at that. The hollow's pretty nice on it. Alright, and this one's at 9. Very nice. I think with some of these older cards, I think a 9 should be highly respected if you can get a 10. Because of the age of the cards. And again, you know, it wasn't a thing to get them graded, so the condition of the cards were probably hard to come by. That's why there's only 120 first edition Shadowless Charizards, because of that. Here's a 99 Gyarados base set. Sadly, these were the unlimited version, and this is a 9. It's still very nice. It's still a 9. Yep, in the back, cut cleanly. So the back does look a lot nicer than some of these newer cards. Alright, so here's the XY Evolution Venusaur. I think, yep, this is from the set. Got 8. 8 on this one. It is a lot thicker, way thicker on this side here. I know you guys can see. From right to left is way thicker. The back isn't too bad. It's probably 60-40, but yeah. I wonder if it has to do with the surface. I don't know if anything I can see. I think, yeah, we're not going to see through the slab here. You're not going to see if there's scratches. I don't know if you can see, but again, the light's bouncing off the slab itself too, so it's harder to tell. All right, and same set, XY Evolutions. Here is a Blastoise EX and Blastoise, and this one is a 10. Very nice. Very, very nice. A lot of these XY Evolutions were cut pretty bad. There's I remember pulling cards from the packs with the 6 booster boxes that I bought. They do suffer whitening on the edges, mainly the corners. They're not cut very clean, so there are certain sets that were not cut very well. Here's an M Charizard from XY Evolutions, and this one's a 9. I think a 10 at one point was going for 320, 350. I think it has dropped. I think this one's going for about 230, 250, I think. This is a 9, yeah. Let's see here. There is, looking at the corners here, there is a little bit of slight chip in the corner. I don't know if you guys can see it. So slight chip right there. That makes it a little bit white, and then slight chip because you already see right there. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. It's a little white. That's 2 corners, but it's not severe. But again, it's a 9. I wonder again if it has something to do. Again, it's a culmination of things. So it's that, and then the centering, and then again the surface that we can't see anymore. Probably made it a 9. All right, that's a 9. So the very last one here in the video is, ooh, this is a XY Evolutions. I wonder if this is the one that we pulled in one of our older videos. I don't know if that was ever posted, but I think it was. We ended up opening 2 booster boxes of XY Evolutions, and we only pulled 1 Charizard, and you know, Power never had one, so the first Charizard we pulled was handed to him. This is the Holo Charizard. The back, it's not bad. As you can see, the corner is not as smooth, but it's not bad. Let's hope for, but again, these, I think there's only 120 as well in circulation, and this is 8. So with the XY Evolutions Charizard, it's very hard to get a 10, let alone a 9. Very stringent. I think the card basically has to be flawless in every way for it to be a 10. And it's kind of sad that with only 120, I think 120 or 150, I can't remember, in circulation, that the value of the card, that's the graded card, is pretty sad, because I think it's only, I think the high this year was about like $5 grand, and I think it has dropped back down to about 3,500. I won't say 3,500 for now, high and low, so I'll take the average. It's still 3,500. People are like, oh, it's 3,500, but yeah, I mean, we'll just say there's only 120 in circulation. With 120 in circulation that are 10s, you know, you would think that 120, you know, there's fucking a shit ton of people in this world, and there's only 120 of these, you know, or 150 of these. You would think that the value would be a little higher, but I don't know. Some shit don't make sense. But anyways, guys, that wraps it up for us. Again, thanks for if you did tune in. I want to thank you again, and I'll try to finish up there's 2 boxes left. I'll try to finish up that on a separate video another day and reveal what those boxes contain. Until next time, guys, be safe, take care of yourselves. Peace out.